You know, one of the beauties of kayak fishing, it's easy, it's simple, there's not a lot of prep. You know, these are lightweight. You could hop them over a guardrail, put them in little lakes, and a Flambeau backpack, 2 rods, a GoPro, a camera, that's all you need. All right, listen to me. We're gonna be talking Niko Rig Fishing, Neko Rig Fishing. I don't care how you say it. The reality of this style of fishing is it's versatile, there's multiple rigging options, and it's great in deep, moderate, and shallow water. This is a great scenario. It's winter here. It's cold. It's 40-degree air temperature. Water temperature is probably, right now, probably in the low 40s, high 30s. And we're gonna throw a Niko rig and we're gonna catch some. You know, this shallow water, you'd think in the dead of the winter, it's terrible. But just little warming trends, 1 or 2 degree difference in that temperature in the shallows will drive fish up. And this is a perfect scenario for a Niko rig. I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about how to rig this Niko rig up. Real simple. Start with the bait. You could Niko rig with creatures, crawls, a lot of different style lures, straight tail worms. But my favorite bait to Niko rig with is soft stick bait. Soft stick bait style lure. I carry 3 or 4 different sizes. I like the 4 1/4. I like the 5-inch. I also like the big one, sometimes when those fish are big, but I love this style bait. Just a soft, little stubby stick worm. This of course is in power bait. This is called a power bait general. This is a new color. It's called Ike's Green Pumpkin Blue Flash. And the next thing is we're gonna be using an O-ring. And that O-ring is gonna go around the bait and it's gonna help keep the hook and the bait together. So you're not losing baits every 2 or 3 casts. I'm a big believer, and this is a clear O-ring. This is by VMC, this is size 6, and it's clear. So no matter what bait I'm using, it'll sort of blend in to the bait. And then just your regular tool, just a wacky rig tool, a lot of good ones out there. And that ring gets put up on the tool so it's stretched out. I don't know if you can see it there. It's real stretched out. And I'll pull that up toward the front of that tube. If you look at it, that tube's hollow. And then I'm gonna get the bait and I'm gonna put that ring in 3 different places depending on how I want that bait to move. The first place is, and this is traditional Niko rigging, is putting that band 3/4 of the way toward the back or the fat end. So I'm gonna put that on there. I'm gonna slide that band on there and you're gonna see I've got that collar, put it just a hair higher. I have it about 3/4 of the way down the bait toward the fat end, okay? And then the last component is the Niko Weight. And I carry a lot of different weights with me. The great thing about this Niko rig system is you can change weights and it'll cause the bait to do different things and fish shallower, deeper. So I'm a big fan. VMC has these small little, look like a half moon weight in the back. I love those. VMC also sells just a traditional nail style weight. They're both really good. Big fan of both of them. And we're gonna start today, I'm gonna go a little lighter, I think. We're fishing a shallow water environment. I'm gonna go with a nail weight today that's probably, dig in here a little bit and find one, there's one. I'm gonna dig in and find one that's a 1/16 of an ounce. And I've got my little VMC Niko nail weight, and I'm gonna go in the fat end of that bait. I'm gonna push it all the way in, and I like to leave just a little bit of that weight exposed. Some people press it all the way in, but I leave a little tip of that exposed. So when I'm around a hard bottom, a dock, concrete, a wall, that weight is actually gonna tick. It's gonna peck on the bottom. Tick, 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 tick. And that in itself can cause a lot of strikes. We're gonna go back and I'm gonna show you the other 2 places to rig it. But let me finish it off here and show you the two different hook styles I like. These are both VMC Neko hooks. And I usually, when I'm fishing this style, I fish the weedless and the non-weedless. Gives me the option for open water or to fish it around cover. This is a number 2 or a number 1 size for that smaller 4 1/4 inch stick bait. And then when I go in this bait, when I go under that collar, I'm not gonna wacky rig it. When you're wacky rigging, you put in the hook and it's perpendicular to the bait. That's wacky rigging. But in Neko rigging, the hook is gonna go in line to the bait. So I want you to watch this. I'm gonna go into the bait, under that collar, but in line. Look at it now. So now I've got this bait that's gonna be pecking on the bottom, and that hook is gonna sort of act as the pivot point for that bait. The other great thing about this VMC Neko is they've got little fluorocarbon weed guard on it. So it's gonna keep it weedless. I'm gonna be able to fish around all this brush. Last thing I'll talk about real quick, and then we're gonna try to catch one, is the rod and reel and the line. I designed a rod for Abu Garcia, and I really believe this is the perfect Neko Rig rod. This is the Mike Iaconelli Ike Series Abu Garcia rod. It's 7.4 medium light. You really want a softer action rod, a medium light or a medium. I like the 7.4, it gives me a little bit of extra length and leverage when those fish hit it. I like to fish it on a 20 or a 30 size reel. This is that Revo Ike spinning reel. And then on line, I fish it 50% of the time with straight fluorocarbon, and the other 50% of the time, I fish it with light braid to a fluorocarbon leader. The great thing about all fluorocarbon, and by the way, I love 4, 6, and 8 pound tests, especially 6 and 8, it's great size. Fluorocarbon is gonna let this bait have the most natural action, even on a long cast. So I like 100% fluorocarbon all the way to the spool, and it's a great system. Wintertime, shallow water, let's see if we can catch one on the Neko, AKA Neko Rig. And sink it. We need some brush over here. Look at this, he's got it. Oh, big bass! You sucker! You sucker! You sucker! You sucker! That's right! You sucker, I Neko rigged you! Yeah! 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 There you go. Look at that. Good example of Neko rigging all year round, even in cold, dirty water conditions. Look at that. Nice bass. Look at that thing. And that's just how you get them. That's that VMC Neko Rig hook. It's got that guard on there so you can fish around brush. And there's the traditional rigging style with that VMC O-ring 3/4 of the way down the bait toward the fat end. And there's that VMC Niko Weight in the back. Man, let me tell you something. If you haven't tried this finesse technique called Neko rigging, give it a try, especially when things are tough. Put some fish in the boat.